What's up everybody, Beto with Alpha Resins here. Today I'm making a sample board out of epoxy resin. Of course, you can see me I already did my measurements with my plywood, the lineups as well, and I'm going to proceed cutting the board. As I proceed, I already cut the board. Turned out pretty good, straight, whatever, and it's ready to get worked on. So I'm going to prepare it by sanding the whole board. I'm actually going to be using 2 grit sandpapers and on my 5-inch orbital sander. And I'm first going to start with the heaviest one. And I'm going to start with a 60 grit, and then we just proceed to start sanding the plywood. What I like to do is scuff up the board a little good with the heavier grit and then go back over it again with a lighter sandpaper, which is the 120. And then my little shed, I prepped my little table. Here I am showing the stuff that I'm already going to be using for this board. And I'm going to just proceed to start by mixing up the color first before I start adding the hardener, because I like to prep the color first and then the hardener. So you saw now I already did the blue, now I'm already doing the black. I'm going to cut a piece of cardboard and use it as my tool to spread out the epoxy and do some designs on it as well. And then now I'm going to start pouring the blue. I'm going to spread it all over the plywood and use that piece of cardboard that I just showed you earlier and just spread out the resin all over the place. After I got all that sprayed over, now I'm going to mix the B hardener with the A, mix it real good, and then start adding it to the board. This is where I'm going to come in clutch with the highlights and just try to do little playful things around the whole board and just come up random ideas, whatever. Of course it looks kind of ugly, whatever, but just trust me, trust the process. That's all about. The epoxy is going to do its magic. I'm just going to stir it up, use my fingers, use the cardboard, whatever I need to do. And voila, as you can see, when I got done mixing the epoxy, I just let it do its thing outside, and it's forming its own waves. And fast forwarding, the next day I let that stuff dry up, and that's how the end result came out.